Hey, Delvon Digital here, and we're here to talk about the new B30 5G. The first thing I want to talk about is the display. It is 6.7 inches full HD AMOLED display, and it also boosts 500 nits of peak brightness, which is pretty good for you to see outside. Nothing like these super high-end flagships that we're getting, but you can see everything outside just fine with this device. And the next thing I want to talk about is the performance of this device. It's using a MediaTek 750 chip, which is pretty fast. It also boosts 8 gigs of RAM, so you ain't got to worry about any of your apps not staying in memory, which is pretty good. I never had any issues swiping or navigating the phone or opening and closing apps or just using any app for that matter with this device. It's just like your old typical flagship device where it works. Everything works how it needs to work, and you never have to really sit around and wait on anything to load or anything for that matter. Performance is pretty fine. I've been pretty happy with the performance of this phone. Now at this price range, this may shock you, but you get a 120 hertz display, which is a big plus to me, because anything below that, like, well, not below 120, but like 60 hertz and below that, everything looks laggy and choppy and stuff. For me, I can't unsee it. So it's really like one of those things where I see 60 hertz, it just looks like an eyesore to me, like the device is just misfunctioning or something like that. I don't know, but for normal people, 60 hertz would be fine, but 120 is definitely that sweet spot. 90 or something like that would be fine as well, but I'm always happy when I get a display that runs at 120. Can't get mad about that. One thing I love about smartphones is the cameras. I'm just a photographer. I love taking pictures, and this one has a 3-camera setup. Your main camera, 64 megapixels. Your wide angle, 8 megapixels. Macro lens, 2 megapixels. It also has some cool AI stuff in the camera that, a lot of you would love to appreciate, because, who doesn't like AI making their life that much easier when it comes to processing and editing your photos? You really can't lose with that. It's like a win-win. This camera is good enough for the average person. For the average person taking photos of their family, food, children, everything like that, this camera it just works. That's the best thing about it. It just works. Not everyone needs that pro level type camera and features and everything else. Some people just need something that's just good enough to hold that memory and save that memory and keep that memory, so whenever you look at the photo, you remember everything that happened that day. And some people are just fine with that. I want to say that the battery life is pretty good up here too. It has a 5,000 milliamp battery, so it pretty much gives me all day battery in my usage. Everyone battery usage would be a little bit different, but for me, it's all day. I never had to run to the charger and worry about like, oh no, I need battery or anything like that. It lasted all day long, and I could go into the next day if I wanted to, but I'm just one of those people who like to charge my phone overnight while I'm sleeping anyway. So that's pretty much what I've done every day in my, my usage with this device. Now, the great thing about this, it is running Android 14, and you also got a fingerprint reader. You got all this, magic editor stuff and everything else that comes with it. And it's really close to stock UI when it comes to this device. It's very, very close. You can tell there's features missing, of course, from the Pixel that this doesn't have, but it has a lot of good features in there. And it's closer to a stock experience if that's what you're looking for in your devices. I love it when a phone just it's closer to stock than throwing a heavy skin up there and just making it just feel clunky and slow, and animations aren't that great and everything else. So I think this UI is pretty solid. I really do dig it or whatever like that. I mean, obviously it's closer to Pixel, so of course I'm digging it. And did I mention that this phone actually supports Gemini? And one of the best things about this device, it comes under $300. So anybody who's looking or on a big budget, this device is really a great device to pick up at $289. You really can't beat that right now. Anyways, this is Delvon Digital, and I hope that you enjoyed this video. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.